Hi, welcome to Travel Together with D&S. I'm Deanna.
I'm Sean.
Today we're going to do a video about what we're taking on our trip to Africa. Now we want you to remember that we're not doing a traditional trip, so we don't have to follow all of the normal remote safari kind of rules when it comes to packing, so we've been able to expand a little bit upon that.
Yeah, the biggest thing, like I said, we are able to take a hard-sided suitcase. We do not have to take like a duffel bag. We are trying to keep the weight down because the airlines do charge significantly if you go over a certain weight, but we can take a hard-sided bag and we'll go.
One of the first things that I want to start with is just remember some of the basics. Don't forget to bring your chargers and all of the things that you need. I have a flashlight and some of the basics. I brought a pair of shower shoes, I've got some lounging clothes, and I have my regular gym shoes that I'm going to wear for most of the days while I'm on safari. They are machine washable, so if they get dirty, I'm not overly stressed about it.
Depending which country you're visiting, we're actually potentially going to be at least 2 different countries we'll be staying in. So we have our power adapter. We have some things that only take 120 volts, not 220 that Africa is on. So this actually will convert it down to 120, but you can get by if your electronics are able to handle the 220. You can just have an adapter and plug it directly into the wall and not need the larger converter that drops the voltage down.
And of course, we want to remind you, don't forget to take your passports. We got convenient passport holders, and we also put our yellow fever cards in there, so we have all of that, our COVID-19 immunizations, and all of our records in one convenient place. So if you need to whip them out, we'll have them in a convenient holder. We just picked that up on Amazon for a very reasonable price, but it's convenient to have to be able to grab out our documents.
And speaking of COVID-19, which obviously is a big part of all of our life right now in travel, make sure you check the country's current regulations and what they're doing. They do change regularly, so make sure you check them. We're fortunate on this particular trip, we both have been vaccinated. We brought our vaccination card, or CDC vaccination card, but we also have a printout from our healthcare system because there were some notations that South Africa requires a QR code, something they kind of track back that we really are vaccinated, not a card we just made up. So make sure you check on that.
As we've mentioned previously, Sean and I are doing a varied trip. We're going to start down in Cape Town, South Africa, and it's a little bit colder down there than when we go on safari up in Kruger. So we made sure to bring a coat. Now I bought a small packable little coat that can squish up into a tiny ball, and it's very lightweight, but hopefully it's going to keep me warm enough that I will be able to stay comfortable while we're traveling around. I want to mention that we're going out for dinner and I wanted to look a little nicer. So I did find myself a nice lightweight dress that I'm going to bring when I'm down there. So hopefully I can have one night where maybe I'm not exactly dressed just for safari.
One common point that we did hear from a lot of different people when we're searching Kruger versus like going to Kenya and some of the Eastern African safari trips is really what we wear is not as significant. Obviously, everybody still said stay away from black items, even stay away potentially from white, but a lot of people, because you're in a truck the whole time, you can't really get out of the truck in the park. Wear jeans, wear what you're comfortable. I'm very warm-natured, so I'll probably wear shorts all week for the most part, but I did take a windbreaker / raincoat again for Victoria Falls where the mist is really bad, or Cape Town where it looks like we may get rained on a little bit. Okay. One other thing, at least just personal preference, what I like is, make sure you're in comfortable clothes when you're on the flight. So don't restrict to jeans that are too tight, a tight belt. I actually prefer, so I usually have a shorts on or pants on with a belt when I get on board, but at some point during the flight, a lot of times I will change into just some comfy shorts and t-shirt to hopefully get comfortable and get some sleep. But at least personally, like I said, the long flight, it's just make sure you're comfortable for the duration.
And the last thing that I really want to mention, don't forget to bring your medicines, because if you forget them, you're not as likely to be able to pick up some of your medicines while you're down in Africa. So make sure you bring that supply with you.
And make sure they're in your carry-on. Do not check them. That's pretty much, whether you're flying to Africa or anywhere, make sure that they're with you at all times. You take them through TSA, you take them on the plane, you take them off the plane, because like I said, bags get lost, things happen, so you don't want to be without them.
Don't forget to make sure that you have luggage tags on all of your luggage. You do want to make sure that it gets back to you and that somebody can get a hold of you if it does happen to get misplaced. The reason that my husband does not want me to go crazy with the clothes is because we are taking a large amount of camera gear. So make sure that you plan appropriately and you have enough space for your clothes, your supplies, and all your camera gear. We're doing a separate video on what we're packing in the camera bag.
And also, like I said, we are also going on some wine tours and vinegar tours. So we'll probably be picking up some bottles of vinegar as well as wine in Cape Town, as well as any other souvenirs and such that we may find. So obviously our bags are probably going to get heavier as we circle around counterclockwise.
We're excited to take you with us on our next great adventure. So check in again and make sure you like and subscribe.